if I understand you clearly now, even though we're at the beginning of 2018, we're just really entering into the 2017 budget releases for capital.
For capital, for Ministry of Works.
This
is the time you are going to have it impact.
Now, what I want to know is, how do you feel as regards this whole issue of working with two budgets? How is the ministry, how do you think as lawmakers we're going to have that work out? We're still going to be trying to implement, because the way the budget for 2017 says, they can still keep working on the capital component. How do you think that will work?
Yeah, the major problem actually about working with two budgets is the fact that once releases are made and they are not utilized, you mop it up at the commencement of the next budget.
Okay.
I do not think that that is good practice. It should not. The only thing is that the National Assembly should increase its pace of monitoring and oversight to ensure that there is proper utilization of funds. It's not usually helpful when you mop up funds. When you check out other jurisdictions, like in the US, once you have money mapped out for a project, it is only Parliament that can initiate its defunding. But it is marked out and the money is there. As you work, you take your money. So it is mapped out for the period of the project. You provide funds for the period of the project. You don't suffer any challenge by the time of annual appropriation where where a project probably disappears from the budget, or there is some kind of so the money is always there, and that is what you can help with, unperturbed and unchallenged the completion of project. But once any annual appropriation interrupts, then it's a challenge. Then, for me, if since I'm Chairman House Committee on Works, I will say selfishly that it is better for me that the budget commences by the end of May of each year. Because once it commences in January, what happens is that you begin your procurement. You begin preliminary budgetary activities, budgetary implementation activities. And then the window for construction, which is that period, you lose it. Then when you combine that to Christmas, you find out that companies close 2 weeks prior to Christmas. It affects construction. And if the construction or implementation of budget comes at the beginning of the rainy season, it's a good window. You use the rainy period to make your procurement, make preparations. Then by September, you hit the road running. So for me, the climatic impact on road construction has to be taken into effect here. It impacts seriously when, for instance, you say, okay, let's commence construction, projects at the implementation of projects at the beginning of January. So for us, it is comfortable that you begin at May. Actually, that was the practice during the First Republic. Financial year is April. Okay. That was the practice during the Gowon era. That was also the practice early 70s and early 80s. It had to change. So maybe we're in love with a particular time of the year. But for me, if you say your financial year is the beginning of April each year, considering the seasonal issues we have in Nigeria, it will be most helpful.
Let me take you up on the issue of maintenance. It's very good and fine. First, we know that we have a large deficit of infrastructure, roads and all that we need to do. But more importantly is how to maintain those that are already, like some of the ones you're hoping to construct now. We still have not worked out how to maintain, which might mean that in a short while, we'll still having problem of maintenance of these roads that so much has been invested in. There is a bill that your committee also worked on. What's the latest on that, and how can that help in the short term, or what is the plan for the short term?
The major challenge we have with regard to road construction or maintenance, like you said, is fund.
Okay.
And that is the reason why the 8th House of Representatives took it upon itself to ensure that there are alternative funding for roads. And that is what the road fund bill that has been passed by the House presently is all about. It is only awaiting concurrence by the Senate. There is no place that people don't pay for what they use. If we don't have funding, if we have funding only from appropriation, you will continue to have the same issues you are having today. I was talking to a contractor, and he told me that, look, we did a road. You know, it cost the government about 50 billion. We have, after 10 years, noticed some cracks. If you give me 2 million, I will go and patch. Or 1 billion, I will go and, lay some kind of asphalt on it again. But if you leave it for the next 2-3 years, you need to fund me with about 40 billion to do the road.
So this road bill, let's just call it road fund bill, how soon will it come up, do you think? You finished in the House, concurrence, then how soon do you think that will take?
So I believe that the road fund bill is a transformational bill.
Yeah.
It's one of the road sector reform bills. Actually, it commenced in efforts to have that kind of platform commenced in 1971. At a point, the World Bank came in, couldn't get it into place. The various assemblies have tried, but now it's been passed into a law by the House. So we're expecting that within the next 1 month, the Senate should be able to expedite action on it. Actually, they already have it. It's been forwarded to them. Then the Roads Authority bill, we should be able to expedite action on it. So it is for the engineers, for the ministry, and for the minister, and for the FEMA, those road users and other Nigerians who are having serious challenges in road, to ensure that when it goes to Mr. President, it is signed into law. Okay. And once that is done, you begin to have some fund that will come in other than through appropriation.
Okay, sir. Now, lastly, I would like to find out from you. We are in the budget defense point. 2018 is about the last year before politicking starts for the 2019 general elections. Now, I would like to understand from you, what should Nigerians be looking forward to seeing from the ministry? What's the House going to try to ensure, the legislature going to try to ensure is put into the budget and completed, so that by this 2018, when it rounds up, we can be able to say, yes, this was achieved?
Yeah, we, first and foremost, we are expecting that there will be some significant improvement based on the releases that has been done during this period.
Okay.
Then we are going to concentrate on the major arterial roads, because even if you want to go to your village or my own village, you must pass through Abuja, Lokoja, then you proceed. So such roads must be in place. Then if you are going, Kano Meduguri that has been on should be in place. Enugu Onitsha should be in place. Enugu Port Harcourt should be in place. Lagos Ibadan should be in place. We are going to focus on the major arterial roads. Then, and the idea is that going to the west from the east, and going to the north from the east, and going to the south-south or north-central, northeast, the major roads that span those areas should be properly funded and procured. As a matter of fact, the major route to the northeast, which makes trips, a lot easier, is 9 miles to Makurdi. Then you access northeast. Then you also have Calabar to Katsina, passing all through Ikom. That's the major road, and it requires attention. Then you have the Lagos-Ibadan. That is the source of evacuation of products. You know, it has been mired in a lot of controversy and all that. Actually, the House passed a resolution that we should investigate the second Niger bridge, then the Lagos-Ibadan. All that has transpired within the procurement or execution of that contract. And we intend to do that by next week, by around the 23rd. So written to the people who are concerned and all that. That is meant to cure the issues that come up of, you know, whether it's concession or whether it is on contract and all that. Once you have a definition of what the status is, once that is done, there will be no issues around them, because these are major roads which you must pass through prior to getting to any other place.